Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Startup Sense podcast. This is your host, Jonah Lupton. I want to thank you for joining us today. We got an interesting interview. This is someone I've actually been chatting with back and forth for the last couple of years when he started his first company called Ubidock. The website is ubidock.com. And essentially, what they are is a phone charging system or solution for restaurants, bars, hotels, coffee shops, and other types of public places and venues where people are gathered. And our phones are all dying faster and faster nowadays with data usage. So they allow these people to stay in those establishments spending money while their phones charge up. So we're going to spend the first half of the interview talking about Ubidock, and then we'll talk about his next company, which is called Jack. So Jack is a chat system for homeowners, powered by AI and Messenger and some other cool stuff that we'll get into. And this is kind of like the new trending technology with chatbots and AI and whatnot. So if you don't really understand what that all means, stick with us and we'll talk about that in greater detail in a second. Both companies are, well, actually, Jack is bootstrapped still. Ubidock actually raised a small seed round. There's three founders on both companies, but I think Izzy, the guy we're going to talk to in a second, is actually the only founder on both. So let's welcome Izzy to the show. Izzy, how are you, man?
Hey, great. Thank you for having me, Jonah.
So I think I got all that straight. Are you the only founder on both of them, and then there's two other people involved with each, but different people?
That's right.
Okay, cool. So like I said, let's talk Ubidock first, and we'll do Jack second. So kind of take us back to the beginning with Ubidock. And first of all, what does the company do, and when did you guys get started? And we'll go from there.
Sure, no problem. Yeah, so Ubidock is a complete portable phone charging system for venues such as restaurants, bars, and hotels. And we got started in early 2014. We actually launched in 2014. It was late 2013. It was me and my co-founder, which he's a high school buddy. We were just sitting at the bar, and at the time he was in real estate. So his phone obviously was about to die, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, I need to email, I need to close this deal." You know how that goes. So it happens to all of us. His phone was dying, and he asked the bartender, "Can you charge my phone?" Sure enough, she took it from him, put it in the back, and we were just sitting there and thought, "There's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better way we can sit here, enjoy our drinks and charge our phones and keep your phone with you." And that was important with us. So we started researching, and we saw other charging technologies that were stations or locker charging boxes on walls, and that kind of didn't help us out because we didn't have, you didn't keep your phone with you. So we decided to launch Ubidock, which was completely portable, hooks up to your phone, and you can, pretty much be anywhere in the venue. You can be in the patio or just walking around or playing pool or shooting darts. So that was the cool aspect of it, was being wire free.
So this is, clearly a hardware company. So when you guys first started working on this, are you hardware guys? Are you engineers by trade?
We were not, but we kind of are now.
It's funny how that
we
happens.
learned a lot.
You have no skills, in a specific area, but after you start a company, you just got to find a way to learn it.
Yeah, and we did. We found a way, and we found some cool advisors that have worked with hardware before, so that was really great. And they kind of guided us and kind of, gave us connections, how to do it, where to go, kind of things.
So, I mean, I've heard, really certainly doing a software startup or a hardware startup are two very different types of business models. I've heard that hardware is way harder because you have to get into the manufacturing and molds and sourcing all the the different parts and this and that. So what were some of the big challenges from the beginning of building this company?
Yeah, so again, like you said, that's absolutely correct. Startups are hard, hardware startups are harder. But yeah, that learning curve, I think, was the most challenging to us. It was new to us, learning about the tooling, about manufacturing and overseas or U.S. and all that stuff. And also like certifications, and it's just there's a lot more that goes into it.
So
Than just running. Yeah.
from the time you guys started working on it to when you actually had a product ready to start selling, how long was that?
So we actually launched a prototype, a working prototype, about it was March of 2014. So I would say about 4 months. It took us about 4 months to get a working prototype going.
It's not bad at all. That's way quicker than I would
No,
have expected.
no, it was rough. I mean, but look, it wasn't pretty. But like they say, if you're not embarrassed by your first prototype, then you're doing it wrong. So
Were you guys were you embarrassed by the first version?
it was pretty bad. I mean, it was pretty bad. But hey, we got into Hooters and we got into a few of them, and then other clients started kind of catching on based on, hey, we're in here. You want to do it? Yeah. So we kind of knew we had something there early. So we jumped on Gen 2 like right away because the prototype was rough.
So you guys raised a little bit of seed capital. When did that happen?
That was early 2015.
Okay. And that money went into what? Salaries, manufacturing, marketing?
It was mostly a little bit of marketing and hiring on some sales reps.
Okay. Because I mean, we talked about this before. I mean, for you guys to get the name out there, to get the brand out there,
Right.
to sell this, I mean, this wasn't like an inbound marketing thing. You guys had to get out there and hustle, right? A lot of outbound stuff.
Right. It was a little bit of marketing, some events, some trade shows, based industry like restaurant type things. Yeah.
So were you going after like mom and pop spots or retail chains or the hospitality groups that had 20 or 50 hotels or restaurants? What was the strategy?
Yeah, so we started with mom and pops, and we had a little bit of luck, and then we started thinking, well, let's go after the bigger chains because it's going to be, one can have 20, 30, 50, even more, 500. So we started talking with some national brands, some big chains. And the thing we learned is, it's a bigger bang, but it takes
Forever,
a long
right?
time. Yeah,
Right.
we've been talking with one now, and we're still talking with them for about a year now. So,
Right.
yeah,
I mean, and you still have to do that, right? You still have to do the moon shots or the elephant hunting,
right,
whatever you want to call it. But in the meantime, you got to be able to feed yourselves with
sure,
some smaller
yep,
accounts. So what's
yep.
the cost structure? Not necessarily what you guys are making it for, but what do you guys sell it for? What are the venues paying?
Yeah, so depending on the venue and how many they have, the price, will be different from case to case. But we've seen, anywhere from 50 to 150,
A month?
per month. Right.
Okay. And then it doesn't cost the customer anything, right? So they're charging their phone for free.
Correct.
And I forget if you mentioned this before. Where would this device typically sit? Is this like behind the bar or in the, somewhere in the reach of a manager or an employee?
Yeah, so I've seen it all actually. I've seen, behind the bar, and I've seen it, in the office at some restaurants, and like hotels, they'll do it like at the concierge desk or at the front desk. So it really just depends.
And what's the biggest lesson that you guys learned? Like, what's one thing going into starting this company that you just were not expecting that you were, doesn't necessarily have to be a problem. It could be a good thing or a bad thing, I guess. But
Right, right.
anything unexpected that we can chat about?
Well, pricing. I think well, I mean, a couple of us were thinking, hey, we'll charge X, and we'll land so many because X is nothing to a restaurant, right? Because they print money every night, right? But we were totally wrong on that. I mean, we went from being high priced to lowering our prices, I mean, tremendously to get in the door. And that's just something we kind of didn't see coming.
This is Jonah Lupton, founder of Jewel and host of the Startup Sense podcast. At Jewel, we help entrepreneurs and startup founders build, launch, and grow their companies by providing superior technology, marketing, and consulting services. We help clients of all sizes, budgets, and industries. We put our clients in the best position to raise capital, grow revenues, hire employees, and maximize their profits. For more information or to set up a free consultation with our team, please visit our website at jool.net. That's JOOL.net. So with Ubidock, how did you originally find your founders, and how do you guys split up those roles now?
So when we first had the concept for Ubidock, it was me and my buddy from high school, and then we reached out to some other contacts, networking or going to events that we met here locally, and found a couple of advisors to help us out. They've done hardware before, so it was really a good fit. So we kind of partnered up.
Talk to us about manufacturing, about hardware. I mean, I've talked to a lot of entrepreneurs that have hardware ideas. It's just very daunting to try to get into it and find the right manufacturer and, people where to, sourcing the different parts and whatnot. So how did you guys start? Or was it really with the help of the advisors pointing you in the right direction?
Yeah. So even before, before we found advisors to guide us, we launched a working prototype, and pretty much if you can find stuff and that you can put together, do it, because it's better than spending a bunch of money and doing a working prototype if it's not going to work. And that's kind of the boat we were in, is this thing was new and we saw nothing out there. So we didn't know what restaurants or, bar owners were going to say when we walked in the door. So, we found pretty much stuff off the shelf that we could put together. The station was literally done locally, at a kind of like a large format sign shop that they molded some plastic together for us, and we stuck, some components inside to be able to charge the unit. So if you can do off the shelf, like buy stuff and put together, do it, and just to prove the concept, and once you have something proven, then go the extra step and fund some money to go to the next step, pretty much.
Is that where that seed funding came in? When you guys had the prototype, so you kind of proved
Correct.
that people want to spend some money on it?
Right.
Okay. Well, when you guys were first trying to come up with this idea, did you walk into some bars or restaurants or hotels and pitch your idea to them and ask them for feedback?
We did. We went to roughly 60 bars in downtown and just talked to bartenders, servers, and GMs, and kind of, and some knew already. They would roll their eyes and they would say, "Oh, every night I get asked to, charge your phone." And some higher level ups were like, "Why do I need this?" It's like, well, talk to your bartender. So
Do the customers have to do anything in order to charge their phone? Meaning, do they have to give the bar, their name or a credit card or email address or any of that stuff?
So yes and no. It really depends on the venue, how they want to do it. A lot of them, like high-end venues that we're in, they prefer not to collect any phone or email, and some even don't get any collateral from them, no ID, no credit card, nothing, just because it's a high-end place.
Right.
And others do some type of collateral, whether it's putting a button on their POS system to where they ring it up and then they zero it out once the item is returned,
Gotcha.
or simply taking an ID, for collateral. You
Right.
walk out, you're not getting your ID. So,
Right.
yeah, so
Okay.
I see many ways. Yeah.
Cool. And do you guys still make these devices in the U.S. or are they made overseas?
Overseas.
In China?
Yes.
How did you guys find the right partner over there?
Just through contacts in previous work. Like I had a buddy that had a product that he used, I guess a firm down there that he trusted. So we went that route.
And when you guys were making these devices in the beginning, how much, like, how big were the runs? I mean, were you guys doing 5 at a time, 10 at a time, 50 at a time?
It was in the very beginning. It was 10 at a time. We
Okay,
started out with 10 systems. We got those implemented, and we did another run. Yeah, and then with time, it was up 30 and then 50 and so
right.
forth.
I mean, so I guess where I'm going is, over time, right, as you guys have scaled the company and you've been doing larger orders, I assume you've seen your cost per item come way down, right? Or not way down, but at
Correct.
least come down.
Right, and that was tough in the beginning because when you're dealing with tens and twenties, I mean, your price goes up. So it was like,
You're barely making money off of
we're
it.
barely. Yeah, exactly.
Right. It's like you're almost breaking even on the first 100,
Right,
just to get to the next 100.
right.
Okay, so let's transition over to Jack because I know that's you're kind of splitting your time between the two companies right now. So, what exactly is Jack?
Yeah, so Jack is a personal assistant for homeowners. It's powered by AI. So essentially, a homeowner can book a home service using simply a text message or Facebook Messenger.
Now, when we say I mean AI stands for artificial intelligence, right?
Correct.
And is that just a fancy way of saying an algorithm or a computer system or software, or is there
Yeah,
some human element?
yeah, yeah, AI is kind of broad right now, and there's a lot of elements that go into it. It's kind of like saying marketing. You
Right.
got you know different slices of the pie. So that's kind of the same with AI. You've got a lot of components that make up AI.
Right. It's definitely, because you see so many companies right now talking about big data and AI and
Right,
VR, the investors are obviously pouring into those categories as well. So, I mean,
right.
we're going to see more and more companies like this. But so how do you guys, or how are you planning to deploy it? Or what platforms are you using where people can access Jack?
Yeah, so we are focused on launching an MVP, minimum viable product, on Facebook Messenger and SMS.
So
And
how,
later yeah.
so how does Facebook Messenger work? Because I know I've seen where Facebook is opening it up, right? So people can develop apps for Facebook
Right,
Messenger.
right.
Okay, so I would go into Messenger, which I'm doing right now, and there's a section somewhere on here for apps, right?
Right. So Facebook just released a new way to discover. I guess they call them bots on Messenger. Before you would search, but I believe now they're rolling something out. And this is just like a couple days since Facebook rolled it out on at their event F8. But they're doing like a new discovery, so people can start using them more and finding
Okay.
bots
I mean,
easily.
is this Facebook's um, competition to Apple's, App Store?
You know, I'm I wouldn't say competition. I think bots and messengers is a new way of communicating with either a company or a service, um, rather than downloading an app. So you can do, for instance, Uber. You can now request an Uber straight from Facebook Messenger without even launching the Uber app.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so that kind of thing with say a Pizza Hut, you don't need to download their app. You can just go on Messenger and go to their pizza bot and just order a pizza by texting.
Gotcha. I mean, are there other companies out there that are using Facebook Messenger already?
Yes, I believe there's over 100,000 bots currently on
Jesus.
Facebook.
Okay.
Right.
And they're
And
doing all
anything
types.
from there's a lot of focus on food, like ordering type stuff, or hotel search, flight, even financial bots out there to where they could manage your money.
I mean, I get it because Facebook Messenger has like a billion users. So,
Correct.
it's on everybody's phone, depending on how
Right.
active they are with it or not. I mean, I guess we all just have,
Right.
some of us have to break the habit of just going to the apps and instead going to Messenger, which is kind of like the all in one, or at least it seems like that's kind of the direction it's headed. Um, So Jack is in what, private beta right now?
Correct. We are in private beta.
And the website is 247jack.com, right?
Yes.
Okay, so people can reserve a spot to be in the beta,
Absolutely.
or once you guys go live.
We're doing a limited right now. As we build, because currently we're training the system, right? We're building and training, so we take in, a few at a time. That way they can try it, and we actually extract their request, and we're able to dump that into our system and let it do its work and let it recognize and parse and see if it can figure it out. And then we're able to go in and train it. So we say, okay, it did this pretty well, but this it didn't. So next time, do this. So that's kind of what we're doing right now, is training it.
Right. The whole idea with AI is it should get smarter and smarter over time as it collects more data.
Right. So we didn't want to do like a public beta to where we're just, a bunch of requests are coming in and the bot, breaks. We want to build it right, and we want it to be ready.
So how are you guys going to power the back end of this? Meaning, maybe that's not the right way to phrase it, but if Jack is a chat AI for homeowners, I guess, then whatever their request is, how do you guys plan on filling those requests? Meaning, if it's I'm looking for a plumber, I'm looking for a painter, or my hot water isn't working, whatever it might be, how do you guys then help? How do you help them get to the service people?
Right. So a way to look at that is if you think of Jack as a human, and you would ask, your personal assistant to find you the cheapest lawn care, and so that person would go to a few sites and figure out who's available on the requested date, how much, and so forth. So that's kind of how we're looking at it with Jack. Is we're going to source it from multiple, I guess you can say, platforms or like a marketplace, right? So we'll go out and we'll see, okay, we need type service on this date, at this price range. Who's available to do it? Is it on this platform or this platform?
Right. That's where I would think you're probably going to have to do is the platforms, or like you said, the marketplaces where,
Right.
There's already the service people in there,
Right.
Set up, able to take this business, possibly schedules are already on the system. So I'm thinking like there's a lot of these, on-demand home cleaning services.
Correct.
They're already in the marketplaces, or they are the whole marketplace.
Right.
A couple weeks ago, I interviewed the founder of Renoviso, which is a home improvement company out of Boston.
Yeah.
They're mostly just in New England right now, but that's essentially what they're doing is a variety of home improvement projects, kind of, on demand.
Right.
So I can see where you'd be plugging, or a company like Paint Zen. So I'm probably having them
Correct.
on a podcast in a couple months. So they're doing
exactly.
Exactly. So you're gonna
and that's right.
Yeah, so
Source it out, and that's kind of complementary. Right.
Right. Okay. So in a way, so you're providing the chat and you're providing the lead gen.
We're providing the yes. Yeah,
Okay.
the chat, the lead gen, and most importantly, convenience. So for busy homeowners, or you or myself that are busy with all these startups and so forth,
Right.
Having someone do it for you is key, and that's the convenience. And you think about Postmates or DoorDash and stuff like that, is that you're still paying that same price for a latte or whatever, but you're paying that convenience fee just to have it delivered. So that's kind of what our angle is, it's convenience. So, when my wife texts me like, hey, the in-laws are coming in this weekend, I need you to mow the yard and I need you to, get the house clean or something, like that's kind of like a slap in the face, right? So I want to just be able to, hey, Jack, schedule a lawn care, by Saturday and get a home cleaning tomorrow, and I'm done. I don't have to go download apps or go to different websites, fill in the forms, and deal with the ping pong of emails and scheduling and all that.
Right.
So that's the focus.
You think that'll be part of the revenue model then, is collecting some sort of a lead gen fee or a commission when you guys refer this business to a Paint Zen or Renoviso or housemaids.com or whoever it is?
Right. So we're looking at doing a sort of a convenience fee if that flies with homeowners to where, it's something stupid like, I don't know, $5 or something real cheap to where it makes sense. Oh, I'm saving all this time. Yeah, I'll pay $2.99, to have you book it. So that's kind of the primary source we're looking at. There's also other sources that we can think about, like affiliate marketing. So if later on down the path, a homeowner can ask Jack, "Hey, find me prices on a new Nest security camera for my home," and we provide pricing, and then maybe next week it goes on sales, and then we're able to ping the homeowner, "Hey, that request for that Nest security camera you asked about, it's now on sale. You want to buy it?" Yes. Okay. So he buys it, then we get money from that.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Are you guys planning to raise money for Jack or hoping to raise money?
I think we will come to a point to we will need funding to get to the next level. I think we're a bit too early right now, but once we are, I guess, live with an MVP and we have actual users on the platform, I think for sure we'll reach out and try to raise some funds.
Cool. What else do we need to know about Jack or even Ubidock? Anything we skipped over that you wanted to cover?
No, I think we got it all. I just, if you will, jump on to 247jack.com and sign up for the private beta. We would love for you to test it or try and break Jack so we can learn from it.
Any thoughts on when this might be going live for coming out of beta?
Yeah, so I'm thinking in the next, I would say 4 to 5 months.
Okay. Oh, okay. So you guys still have a lot of time or you're still giving yourselves a lot of time to perfect this.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's key because we see a lot of chatbots, for a lack of a better word. That I mean, I can literally launch a chatbot, overnight, and you'll see articles on TechCrunch or something else, and I see them all the time. It's like launch a chatbot in 10 minutes, and it's true, you can, but it's gonna be crap. It's gonna break. I mean, I can break some right now that I have high, expectations for, but then when I use it, I can break it. And I think it's key to kind of build something that is useful for the user, versus just launching something and saying, "Hey, we got a chatbot."
Do you think chatbots in general are replacing customer service people or just allowing them to do their jobs better?
I think do the job better. I think it's quicker and it'll solve a lot of I guess repetitive Q&A, like probably 80% of the company's questions that need to be answered are the same.
Right.
And that other percent is like customs, and that's kind of the same thing that we're going to deal with. It's going to be probably 80-20, to where 80 is AI and then 20 will have a human takeover, to where we can hand it off to a home expert and they can chat with the homeowner just for custom things. But I don't see a near future where AI is 100%. I mean, that's just unrealistic.
I mean, if you guys are able to grow this service and get 1,000 people a day using Jack, and that's leading to service calls for plumbers, electricians, painters, all this stuff. I mean, how big can this get? I mean, is that your goal? Is that the long-term vision here?
It is. It is, and later think about just sitting at home and asking Alexa for, "Hey Alexa, ask Jack to schedule a plumber ASAP."
Right.
if your hands are tied or you're leaving out the door, you're busy, you just say. So I think that's, I
Like,
can't predict how many years, but I think that's
right.
where we're headed.
No, but I mean, it's coming, right? I mean, all these smart
Yeah.
devices, we're surrounded by smart devices. And I mean, I don't have an Alexa or any of that stuff quite yet. But, because part of me says, oh, you're so lazy. But then the other part of me is like, when you have a problem, you want to be able to deal with it as quickly as possible. You don't want to have to go onto Google and search for
Right.
plumbers and call around to see who's available and, what they charge for, just to come to your house and this and that. So, hey, if,
Right.
if some software program can do all that for me and save me time and money, I'm down for it. So I get it. Makes
Right.
total sense. Well, thank you so much, man. Glad we finally got a chance to do this show. Sounds like you got your hands full with two companies right now. So, I think the term that most of us use are serial entrepreneurs. People that kind of, they start something, they grow it, they sell it, or they shut it down, and they move to the next thing. And then there's the parallel entrepreneur. The Elon Musks of the world that are doing multiple projects at the same time. So, any advice on how to run two companies simultaneously?
Oh man. Either hire a personal assistant or use Amy X.AI for to schedule your meetings. Another
Seriously?
great AI company. Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah.
Amy? How do you spell
Yeah.
that?
Check it out. It's X.AI. That's their website, and they call it Amy, and she schedules meetings for you.
Sweet.
It's
Yeah, I'm
awesome.
signing up right
Yeah.
now. Awesome. Dude, I mean, this is the world we live in now, right? I mean, people are busy. Everyone's trying to be as productive as possible, and I think
Absolutely.
we're going to see a lot more of these AI services and chatbots and machine learning and everything else across all these industries. I mean, I've done interviews on
Absolutely.
my show.
Yeah.
Healthcare, education, technology, customer
Yep.
service. I mean, all this stuff. It's coming, whether we like it or not.
Right, right. And for us, I mean, time is money, right? And they say time is money.
Oh yeah,
Sometimes time is pain. It's
right.
it's that it's that that time, that back and forth, that tedious stuff that gets you. So it
Oh
adds
yeah.
up.
You spend half your day dealing with something, and then afterwards you're so frustrated you
Right,
can't even be productive. So,
right.
well, thank you so much, Izzy. Really appreciate your time today. Want to wish you the best of luck, and let's stay in touch and see where things go.
Awesome. Thank you, Jonah.
You got it, man. Talk to you soon.
All right.